First of all, during the 20s, I think he devoted himself from a professional point of view. First of all, he was making an apprenticeship in various areas: choral conducting, orchestra work, and accompanying, collaborating with singers. And that's when he was with, was it Moiselov? Samoylov.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that went on for a long time, and my father evidently became very, very successful and well known as a vocal coach. He was very much in demand. And of course that was a skill and a predilection that never left him. He was a wonderful coach and a wonderful player for singers. I mean, it was just uncanny the way he just, you know, he just knew every breath and every nuance of the singing impulse. So that enabled him to, I mean, he had sufficient economic success so that he was no longer struggling in those days. And one of the things was that in 1927 he and my mother left for Europe, and the target was to go to Russia. Now, how come? It was not so easy, evidently, to get into Russia in those days. Well, he was the conductor of the Freihets Gezang Verein, and that was a communist organization. It was a communist orchestra. My father was a leftist without any question, but never a communist. He was a socialist with the very strong impulses about the justice of the labor movement and basically the politics and sympathies of the left. What I got from the story through the years was that suddenly it dawned on him what was really going on, because nobody could talk in public with the family or with friends. There was hardly any family left.
Sure.
They would go to a park to discuss things, and he began to realize that this was a repressive regime. And I understood that he came back to America and said he didn't want anything more to do with the Freihets Gezang Verein. What Judith says was that that's not really what happened. What happened was the Freihets chorus began to put restrictions on what he could do and could not do. And he said, in effect, screw you, I'm leaving. That's not, but I think, you know, I think there was already an excuse looked for to leave. And I don't think these things were quite as clear as they are, you know, later on when we see the starvation of what Stalin actually did, and the show trials, and the blah, 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 and the millions and millions and millions of people killed and sent to gulags and starved and one thing and another, almost as bad as Mao Zedong. In any case, that was the end of his alliance with the chorus, and it was the beginning, I think, where he began with the Arbeter Ring, and then a little later the ILGWU, International Ladies Garment Workers Union, and they were simply a union, and they were left in politics, they were democratic, they, you know, but, you know, as in sibling rivalry, things like that, there's no greater hatred than parallel tribes.
Yes.
Or, you know, I mean, that's between the communists and the socialists. I mean, that was, they knew each other.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and so they were killers.